This holiday season, step aboard a Seattle tradition, the Argosy Cruises Christmas Ship Festival. Take in the holiday magic on the official Christmas ship, the Spirit of Seattle, adorned in hundreds of sparkling lights as she brings festive cheer to waterfront communities across Puget Sound. Enjoy live onboard caroling from local choirs, holiday-inspired drinks, and of course, Santa himself. With every ticket, Argosy donates to the Seattle Times Fund for Those in Need, supporting several local charities. Create memories that sparkle. Visit argosycruises.com and book your Christmas ship cruise today. Washington Wild is dedicated to protecting the wild lands and waters that make Washington State such an incredible place to live, explore, and thrive. From safeguarding clean drinking water to defending iconic outdoor destinations, Washington Wild brings together local voices to protect our natural heritage. Investing in visible impact close to home creates healthier ecosystems, stronger outdoor recreation, and a future where wild places remain truly wild for everyone. Learn how you can take action at wawild.org. This is CityCast Seattle. I'm Jane C. Hu, and here's what Seattle's talking about. Today on CityCast Seattle, the future of magic mushrooms in Washington and how our iconic Seattle dog came to be. But first, President Trump teased the possibility this week of moving the World Cup from Seattle. So my first question is, Eula Scott Bynoe, former host of KUOW's Battle Tactics for Your Sexist Workplace, community doula, multi-generational Seattle resident, instead of the World Cup, what do you wish Trump would remove from Seattle?
So my first thought was the Ferris wheel, because I just can't afford to get on it, which is rude and elitist. Our poorest on my part. So skip that, because my son wants to do it one day. What I would love to go is what I call the Death Star, which is that part of downtown where Amazon is taken over, where no light hits, right? Like if you're driving through that area on a really sunny Seattle day, which is rare as it can be, that part of town has no light because the buildings are so high that if you're walking down the street, you could easily just be on the Death Star. You could just be on a planet somewhere far away, you know?
I had not been down there in a while and was down there yesterday and was like, oh, this is where the elephant car wash sign went.
It's its own little town too. You know, They have everything that we enjoy outside of that little, few block radius. They have gone and like plopped into their little neighborhood. And so they exist on their own little ether. And I just would love for it to go. And I've never been into the spheres, but I heard you can go into the spheres as a normal, regular, everyday person now. So now I need to decide what my indifference is there, because I want to go.
Jeff Bezos' glass balls. All right, Lex Vaughn, founder and editor of The Needling, Seattle's only real fake news. Instead of the World Cup, what do you wish Trump would remove from Seattle?
He would never choose this instead, but the only thing I can think of are the eco blocks that take up all the parking spaces in various parts of the city. And I'm hopeful that that actually will happen now that we've booted Sarah Nelson out of the city council.
Oh, you mean the, we don't want RVs to park here on the side of the road blocks?
I don't know why they're called eco blocks. They're like giant concrete blocks that they'll put in parking spaces in the road to prevent, people who don't have shelter from parking there. And I just think it's like a very dumb apparent solution. It's like, just find a way to help these people.
That part.
Hostile architecture.
Yes. The armrest they put in the middle of benches so you can't take a nap.
Ooh, yes. Well, we'll see if that changes in the city with the new mayor, Katie Wilson, which Trump also talked about. He called Katie Wilson a, quote, very, very liberal/communist mayor. And he mentioned her after a reporter had asked him about Seattle's mayoral election. So he actually also had mentioned moving the World Cup from Seattle back in September, but this week, when he was asked about it again from this reporter about our election, he mentioned Wilson. He mentioned maybe we'll move the World Cup out of Seattle because there are other cities that would, quote, love to have it number one. Just very much the way Trump talks.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. First of all, how difficult it would be to move the city right now. It's not happening. Like, period.
Yeah. He did make these comments with FIFA president Gianni Infantino by his side, who kind of deflected on it. So I don't know that there's any real possibility that at least that Trump is able to unilaterally make that decision. But it does bring up the fact that the World Cup is coming up. We're expected to have something like 750,000 visitors over the course of those games. And the city is really using that as an opportunity to try and capitalize on bigger projects like making the waterfront nice, improving safety at the stadiums. And I know one of the plans that they have put forth for this new budget is to create corrals downtown for all the e-bikes and e-scooters so that when all the visitors come, there will be a designated place to put them instead of just having them all over the place. Construction is also going to stop during the World Cup. So, I mean, as Seattleites, how do you all feel about the World Cup coming up? Like, are you all excited about it? Are you planning to go to any of them? Or are you just kind of like, okay, this will be happening, but it's not going to change my life?
You know, as you were talking, I just realized, like, I mean, a lot of us have already got what we wanted out of the World Cup. People having these deadlines, get the waterfront done. Let's try having Pike Place Market without cars on it. Like, already, like, some cool things have happened and gotten finished because they have that goal in mind of like being ready for the World Cup. But I'm like, I think for a lot of us, that's probably the main benefit we're going to derive from the whole thing. It's just like,
it's kind of like when you're going to have people over and you're like, shit, I got to clean my house and like make them think that this is how we always live, even though it's totally not.
For a lot of us, I think that's the primary benefit. It's just, let's make it nice before they come. But I mean, part of what I'm excited to see with Katie Wilson as mayor instead of Bruce Harrell is a lot more focus on helping more diverse communities and small businesses. Because when the All-Star game happened, I mean, Bruce Harrell like completely screwed like International District. It was like a huge opportunity right there. Help people find all these different cool businesses in the International District. And they got like completely like shut out.
Wait, say more for people who weren't paying attention maybe to the All-Star game situation.
This was like 2 years ago?
Baseball, yeah.
Yeah, baseball. Seattle hosted the All-Star game. And, that was, a huge, like, let's clean up the city moment because a bunch of people are coming here. And what our current mayor did was like focus on, sweeping homeless people out of the area and directing people to a couple downtown businesses. I think they were focused more on like revitalizing downtown, which is fine, like include downtown. But International District is right there next to the stadium. Mm-hmm. And there was no encouragement of people like sending people that way. And that was like a huge missed opportunity. Mayor Harrell like touted himself as like someone who was really going to support that community. And in a very important moment, completely forgot them. I think we'll see a lot more focus on small and independent businesses, when all that traffic comes into the city. Honestly, it's so many people who are going to come here. Like
every time I feel like I'm down in the stadium district now, I notice new little businesses popping up all the time. It's cool to see more of an industry building up there. And I mean, I do hope people also make their way to the CD, but we'll see. Or sorry, to the ID, but we'll see. Eula, what do you think? What are you excited about the World Cup, or are you just living life?
I mean, I'm excited. I think it's a come and go through Seattle, so it's nice to experience them when you do. When the All-Star game for the MLB happened, I was picking up my son from Pike Place Market, which is where they had a whole event there. But, I pick up on the other side, the backside. And so I had no idea. I could have gone upstairs and like met all these celebrities and been on ESPN in the background. But I felt like Seattle barely even knew was happening. We were aware, but we tend to kind of be out of the loop because we're in these little suburbs that surround the downtown area, right?
It's true. We're not always like in the stadium district.
No, I had no idea. So I would say with the FIFA, I feel that same amount of indifference of, oh, that's great that they're doing something downtown. So fun for those people who will come and go. I think my son has to like set up his lemonade stand, right? I'm happy for Katie that she has this opportunity to be put on a world map in that way, to be a Seattle mayor at a time where the whole world is paying attention to us, because the World Cup is a global phenom versus just a national phenom the way the MLB is. Mm-hmm. I hope she does a great job. I think that if I were following your like advice, Lex, the ID is such a like cultural phenom in that you have great food and great knickknacks, and Wajimaya is a place where you can spend hours just walking down the aisles there and the bookstore inside. But I say that to say, I just don't know how I would marry the two. I don't know how I would marry soccer, and unless you're just trying to get people to, patronize the businesses and get into the food, because the food is bomb, left and right, and fast. The fastest place you can go in the city for a quick bite to eat. Like on your lunch break, you can get everything you need to get back to work on time, even with the commute. So
I think that's one of the best grocery stores in the city. One of the coolest ones. And then it's kind of like once you're in there, then you see everything else. You're like, oh, what's this dim sum place? Yeah.
But it makes me think of Uncle Bob and just wishing kind of he was around, because Uncle Bob used to kind of run the ID.
Tell us about Uncle Bob.
Oh, so Uncle Bob is a Filipino brother from Seattle proper, I believe, who grew up here and was deep in the civil rights movement around Asian and Black folks having equal rights in the city that wasn't always properly paying everyone. And Uncle Bob, he would have been in conversation with Bruce Harrell trying to figure out the ways to make change. Because also there are like generations of people that just want to sit and argue and move the buck forward. And there are other people who just want to sit and make sure it all stays where it's at. So it would have made a difference were he here, and RIP to him. But a lot of folks in the ID are living in their own neighborhood the way the CD kind of lives in our own neighborhood. If we are aware of it, how do we marry the two? That's something that people have to have a lot of conversation around.
Well, that makes me think about the fact that Katie Wilson's stepping into this new role. And like you said, Eula, she's going to be on this like world stage in this moment. I mean, how do we want our new mayor to handle this upcoming World Cup? Like, I'm thinking about beyond just trying to plug businesses, potentially. Like, one thing that's been on the table for a lot of these big events where people come to Seattle are sweeps. And also, like, how do we want our new mayor to handle Trump as he's lobbying backhanded insults at her?
So my son is in therapy for a bunch of other random things, but I get to sit down with the therapist too to figure out how to engage with him as far as like leading him towards the right things, giving him attention for the right versus the wrong, trying to train his brain to do what I want it to do without telling him to do what I want him to do, which is all parents have to figure out all dang day. Long story short, I'm supposed to really lean into all the good he does. Great job doing that. Really proud of you. Oh, you're doing this today? I think that's a great idea. And the things that he's not supposed to do, meaning like a good example is just like, I told you to go grab something. I told you exactly where it was. I hear you running everywhere else in the house instead of going and getting the one thing I told you to do. I'm supposed to ignore. I'm supposed to completely ignore it. So what I would say is I would love for Katie to just ignore
we can all
this
learn
brother. Like,
from that.
but also because Trump, when you ignore him, he would hate that. The therapist said at times I can even turn my back to this brother if he's acting a fool in the background. So I think she should turn around, mind her business, and when he does something good, she should do the exact opposite. Turn around and give all praise. Great job, Trump. I'm so happy that you sent the money I asked you for. And the minute he acts a fool again, it's just, who? What?
I look forward to seeing Katie Wilson, hopefully gentle parenting Trump.
Parenting Trump.
He never has been.
As much as I criticize Governor Ferguson and kind of wish he would take a harder line against Trump, I think there has been a certain strategy there in like staying boring and like, okay, let him go after Newsom in California and let's have as little bit of drama as possible, because like real lives and lots of money is at stake, unfortunately.
It doesn't seem like we're in any real danger now of Trump being able to pull the World Cup, but I'm sure that we'll see our share of jabs as we head into next year. But let's leave it there for now. And when we come back, we're going to talk about shrooms. Oh, hey, sorry. Just having my afternoon snack. Lately, I've been really into Cobb's popcorn. It's small batch, handcrafted, premium quality, fancy pants popcorn. Like, their kitchen only produces 60 gallons a day, and it's popped fresh daily. So when it's gone, it's gone. The flavors are really good. They've got kettle corn, vanilla salted caramel, and brown butter from family recipes. It's made in Seattle, and locals and visitors alike will love it. I had a friend visiting from out of town, and she raved about how good it was. It's probably because they use real butter. Stop by their shop at Pike Place if you need your popcorn fix, a gift for a friend, or snacks for an event. Plus, they're right here in Seattle. You can go visit their shop at Pike Place if you need your popcorn fix, or if you need a gift for a friend or snacks for an event. They'll even give you a discount if you show them your Washington ID. Go visit the Cobb's Popcorn Shop at 1500 Western Ave near the market. Go pop in soon. CityCast Seattle is made possible by AT&T. America's first network is also its fastest and most reliable. Based on RootMetrics' United States Root Score Report, 1H 2025. Tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T. When you compare, there's no comparison. AT&T. Earlier this week, a judge ruled that Joseph Emerson, who is a former Alaska Airlines pilot, would not be going to prison. So you all might remember Emerson as the pilot who tried to shut off the engines of a flight that was going from Everett to San Francisco. He wasn't flying the plane. He was just flying for free, as pilots and flight attendants get to do. But he wrestled with the pilots for 30 seconds and they got him to calm down. They safely landed the flight. There were 83 people on board, and so after all of that, Emerson was charged with 83 counts of attempted murder. But the judge ruled this week that he's actually not going to prison, which I'm curious, like, had you guys heard about this situation?
Well, I mean, gosh, last year, half of our Needling headlines were about airlines, acting full. Boeing, Alaska Airlines. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I definitely heard about that. It's a difficult thing because he could have killed a lot of people.
Yeah, but he thought he was asleep.
He said that he was in this dreamlike state. So he told investigators, like, right after it happened, that he had taken shrooms for the first time. About 48 hours before all of this happened, he was trying to, like, self-treat his depression. He was on this trip to commemorate a friend who had just died. So he was kind of going through a tough time. I think he had also just gone through, like, a 3-month training where he was, like, separated from his family for that period. And I recently saw this interview that he gave to Jules Evans, who's a writer who focuses on post-psychedelic difficulties, about his experience. And he said that he just felt like he wasn't quite all the way there. Like, he just felt like he was still in a dream a little bit. You all might not know this, but part of my job as a science journalist is covering psychedelics. So I've been following this really closely. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious, like, have you all heard about this happening with shrooms?
He said he struggles with alcohol too, which, is totally okay to have an abusive relationship with in America, right? And that I would worry about more because alcohol to me is a strong monster that can take over. He said he hadn't slept in 2 days, right? And so the fact that you had the shrooms 2 days ago, I don't know if the shrooms are the problem 2 days ago. It sounds scary to be in that kind of thinking. But what I, as a person of color, often think of too in these situations is I love how well he's being handled as far as his trauma and what happened, 83 cases, no jail time. And at the same time, it's just a white man getting such a nice pat on the back.
It's like, oh, if everyone could be treated like that, that would be great.
Everyone. If I could be treated like that as a mom, I can't tell you the amount of times I've asked for help when I'm really struggling. Like 2020 rocked the crap out of me. But I say that to say nobody came and helped me. No, there was no support. It was just kind of like you just stick to yourself. You just keep your head down. You survive it all. And I learned then, though, that I am a stereotypical Black woman, which you don't realize as a kid. You're like, I'm a kid, I'm a person, I'm a human being. But I bet you there's a day where, like, both of you guys realize you were a woman and you're like, I'm just a woman. I get mistreated just like women. All these stories I hear about
There's
women
no
getting
escape.
like, poorly
I am
taken
in a
care of.
category and I'm going to be treated this way.
Yes, but so I appreciate. So we're watching a man in his category be cared for, and that's impressive. He's getting the care that he needs. He's not going to jail. He's getting support from a bunch of different pilots in that way. The guy who had to him up and hold him down was there vouching for him, saying that jail time would do him no help. I do think though that the 83 people on the flight should have the right to hit him.
Punch him in the face once.
Just line up.
I don't think it should be a punch. I think it should be an open-handed slap.
Oh, all right.
I think that there should like
Napoleon
or a
Dynamite.
backhanded slap. Yeah, open or back. But the mindset should be, why did you do that to me? Why did you do that to me? The plane was supposed to be in California. I was supposed to go on vacation, and instead I landed in Portland, Oregon. I took off from here and ended a block away. I had to get back on a flight. I had to watch you get on and off, all because your extreme privilege has you in a free seat.
But you know what? This discussion made me think that it's like, this is far from the only guy who's taking, medication on flights. Like, a lot of people have anxiety and they take different kinds of substances to just get through the flight. And so I think maybe the larger safety conversation is like factoring that reality and like, oh, like sometimes we got like weird people on board, or they're having a reaction or something that they were not predicting.
Behavior on planes has been definitely weird lately. I mean, just generally better support for people who are struggling with their mental health in some way. And I mean, Eula, you mentioned obviously like race and gender play a huge role here. And Emerson's definitely got some things in his corner, right? Like, I feel like a white guy who's a pilot is definitely given the benefit of the doubt. It's just so tough to watch people struggle like this. And so many people are turning to psychedelics to self-medicate. Oregon and Colorado are two states that have now legal programs for people to take shrooms under supervision.
I think that's ideal.
I'm down for legal supervised. I love
supervised. Like I just I haven't done shrooms ever. I might be curious enough to do it at some point, but if I try anything like that, like honestly, I think I want to be really careful about supervision.
That's kind of the approach that a lot of people are taking now. I mean, the problem with that ends up also being just that those programs are super expensive. And so Washington's actually trying to pass something similar to what Oregon has. It hasn't gone through, but Seattle has decriminalized magic mushrooms, as have like several other Washington cities. But like as a result, people are like seeing what's happening in Oregon and Colorado and doing kind of similar to what Emerson was doing, like hearing this could help, trying them, and then in some cases having a kind of tough experience where they're not necessarily getting the support that they need.
I've microdosed before and it was great.
Oh, okay.
I felt like, I don't know how much it was, but it was a very little amount, right? And it felt like, oh, I just feel fine. I just feel like an air of joy underneath this energy of my day. And it doesn't feel heavy or intoxicating. I didn't feel a high, if that makes sense.
Right.
On the other hand, the last time I took shrooms, I was at like the nude beach, Denny Blaine.
Oh, wow,
Blaine?
really doing Seattle. You're a Seattle all the way.
I'm from here. I'm born here. I'm born and raised here.
Multi-generational Seattle resident.
It's all I know. But no, I was down at Denny Blaine. I took some shrooms. I had the day to myself. My son was at daycare. I felt like I could handle this wave on my own. And it was a terrible trip. Long story short, I left the beach. I had to call the police because I thought I saw scary people being let go out of a van. It was very weird. But,
Dang.
But I know it was real.
Oh, like, so you weren't just tripping. It was like you actually saw.
No, it was like there were sex workers down at the beach and one of them was taken out of a car and literally crawled from the car down the stairs into the water. But for me, it looked like demonic kind of.
Oh, God.
Because I'm on shrooms. But you see the whole beach start to shift. So I definitely called my neighborhood Ifa priestess. And I called the police and I left. Went home, took a bath, drank a lot of water, and have not done it since. But also, I am a natural tattletale. So the shrooms are not why I tattletold. I would have told anyways. I'm not letting any harm come to people right in front of me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Oh
Hell
my
no.
God.
Up here in like areas like the Pacific Northwest where we've decriminalized like drugs like shrooms and marijuana, I think we're going through a little bit of like a recalibration period where it's like, okay, it's good that we're not criminalizing it, but like let's also get real. Like it's not like this stuff is harmless. Like you do need to be thoughtful. We still need to be thoughtful.
Responsible use. Please don't
and it's
drive
not for everyone.
High.
Some people are best without it, period.
That's the other thing that I would love to emphasize is people ask me constantly since I cover psychedelics, like, well, should I try it for my blank? And I'm like, do you want to? And they're like, not really. It doesn't sound that great, but like, I've heard that it can help. My personal opinion is just if you don't feel like it sounds like fun to you or doesn't sound like something you want to experience, you're probably not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Because people can have a really bad time even when they want to have a good time.
Yes.
And I guess I'll also mention that if you, like Eula at Denny Blaine or like Emerson on that airplane, are having a hard time either during your trip or afterwards, there are resources to be helpful. There's the Fireside Project, which has a support hotline and a text line that you can actually talk to while you are tripping if things are not going well, or afterwards. There's also, for folks like Emerson, it's actually not uncommon to have a bad experience days later, like lingering symptoms. Some people have something called HPPD, which is basically like you continue to see visual hallucinations after you're done with your trip. Like sometimes people have this for years.
Whoa.
Yeah. So there's something called the Challenging Psychedelic Experiences Project that brings people together who have had these bad experiences to talk about them and to provide support. So if anyone out there listening has experience with that or in the future potentially comes across it, I wanted to mention that there are resources to be helpful.
You're saving lives, Jane, for real.
I mean, I do think that it's under talked about just because, you know, it's been underground for so long and we're finally starting to talk about it more as a culture, but those parts of it are still not always shared.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave it there for now. And when we come back, we're going to answer our first ever listener question. This week, we got a text from Natasha in Capitol Hill who says, "Hi, I have a question for your mystery series. When/how/why did cream cheese, for example, the Seattle dog, become a defining feature of Seattle cuisine? Nothing about it screams Seattle to me, and the most known brand bears the name of an entirely different city. Also, it's gross. Thanks."
Gross. Bomb. You don't like jalapenos? That's what you're saying. You're saying I tried it with grist cream cheese and it was too bland.
Eula, define a Seattle dog. It sounds like you are in the know.
Oh, yeah. So a Seattle dog is a hot dog with cream cheese on it, grilled onions, and jalapeno. It's like a real meal. Like you're trying to get like a, you know,
It's got everything
something
in it.
sturdy on your stomach.
You will be full.
Yeah. And that is the goal.
So wait, have you all had one?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Lex.
I only recently had one like this year after making fun of it in the Needling because I just always thought it was ridiculous that it had cream cheese in it.
Did you
what are your
like
thoughts?
it?
Do you
Was
like
it
it?
good?
I liked it. I did. I do think the cream cheese is still a bit much. I mean, the hot dog is already packed with so much good stuff, but I mean, it's decadent. It's good. Overall, the cream cheese ends up kind of melting in with everything else.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I still think prefer it without the cream cheese.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Do you all know much about the history of the Seattle dog?
I don't.
I read the little article about it, and the guys who had a bagel place, right, was
Yeah.
on the strip in Pioneer Square, and his mindset was, I'm already here during the day doing this, so I'm also going to pull up at night. If I'm pulling up at night, I want to be uniquely myself, so I'm bringing my day business into my night business. But when you guys say that it's not very Seattle at all, there was a time where bagels and lox was such a big thing in the Pacific Northwest, like huge, where I can understand somebody saying, well, you guys aren't big, you guys aren't the bagel capital, but salmon is our jam.
Yeah.
Right. And
True.
so salmon, bagels, lox, I can see where the you know, the stream led.
So, yes, Eula, you mentioned the bagel guy. His name is Hadley Long, and he moved to the Seattle in the 80s to try and make it as like a bagel guy. But it turns out that when he started his bagel place, he had started selling these Bialy sticks where he accidentally kind of created the Seattle dog by making a bagel dog with cream cheese. He said at the time he didn't want to be a hot dog guy. He wanted to be the bagel man.
Yeah.
And he ended up selling hundreds of these bagel dogs. People got super excited about them. He would always notice that the cream cheese would make the hot dog slide out of the bun as it melted, as you were saying, Lex. So there was one guy who called the cream cheese glue, and he would always just say, I want extra glue. So he started putting it on both sides of the Bialy stick. And people just loved it. And they started buying all these up. And as there were imitators, because Bialys were hard to get a hold of, people just started using hot dog buns instead. And that is how the Seattle dog was born. I have also wondered, and I couldn't find anything about this, if The Seattle roll, like the sushi roll, which also often contains cream cheese, was an offshoot of all of that.
Probably.
But I don't know if you all have ever had a Seattle roll. I think it's usually like smoked salmon and cream cheese in a sushi roll.
Yeah, I mean, it must be the marriage of it for sure. But, you know, the irony is, as a person from Seattle, like multi-generational, there's never been a barbecue I went to where anybody had cream cheese.
Yeah, I didn't
Not
grow up
once.
with cream cheese a lot. I grew up in a primarily like non-white neighborhood in Southern California, and I think cream cheese is just not majorly on the cuisine scene. It's
Not
a
a thing.
white thing. It's pretty white, right? So I mean,
Yeah, Seattle's pretty white.
It makes sense from a Seattle perspective from that angle.
Yeah.
Like, of course,
Yeah, it's a
it
pretty
has
white place.
cream cheese in it. It's
It kind of makes sense. I grew up in the South where cream cheese is put in like so many different things that you don't think about it being in. But I'm not sure exactly how Philadelphia cream cheese became such a staple of Seattle besides the Seattle dog. And it seems like maybe people just liked that texture and the little bit of extra creaminess and tang that it adds to whatever it's added to. So the Seattle dog boom apparently took off around the time that the Mariners were doing really well in like the early 2000s when people were all down watching games.
It got solidified with good vibes.
Yes,
Good
like
memories.
You have like your 6 beers at the baseball game. You come out, you're like, sure, I'll have a hot dog with cream cheese in it. And here's a fun fact. Apparently, to keep up with demand, some of the people who were selling Seattle dogs were like, oh God, we're going to need a new way to dispense all of this cream cheese. So this one guy started using a caulking gun to dispense the
It
cream
goes
cheese.
with the glue. Just call it glue.
It
or
goes with the glue.
caulking.
Just put it in there.
I think that's hilarious.
And that reminds me of how when Dick's used to make their own tartar, they use almost like a caulking gun to fill the tartar. Dick's was my first job. I'm very Seattle-ex. It's gonna get on your nerves.
Check all the boxes up.
I mean, people who know, but it was like this tube that you'd insert into this caulk gun, and then you'd shoot the tartar sauce in.
Innovation.
I have to say, like, in favor of the Seattle dog, which is it you know, like, it was good. I just thought it was so decadent. I was like, wow, you really have to be like on an empty stomach, or there's no room for this this amount of
Yeah.
calories. But I think, I mean, a lot of cities like to have their like certain kind of hot dog, and as far as that goes, like, there are cities that have way worse like hot dogs. You know, like
Chicago.
what?
Oh, say more.
First of all, Chicago. What is it? Just like celery salt?
They put relish. They put
Yeah.
like fresh tomatoes chopped up on a hot dog, and it's
Yeah.
like.
But you know
I
what
don't
was
know why we're
even
doing this.
more disappointing? The most disappointing like city dog thing. I went to Berlin and heard that like, oh, they have curry hot dogs. I was expecting some like really cool curry hot dog thing, and it was literally just regular hot dog with ketchup and then like curry powder sprinkled on it.
Oh.
And I was like, give me a
Gross.
break.
I imagine that that's born of the same circumstances where it's like you just got out of some club where you've danced for 16 hours and you just need some sustenance, and that could theoretically be the best
It's
thing you've ever
basically
had.
like when people are drunk in this city, what are they willing to eat? This.
yeah.
Yeah, convenience. And you can fall asleep with it in your hand. There's such a convenience to like eating something you can eat while laying down. Oh, it's amazing. I would love it if Costco would claim it, right? Because Costco is a Northwest brand, and those $1.50 hot dogs go a long way, but they're never properly dressed, in my opinion. And the way you keep using the word decadent, Lex, I'm like, man, I wish Costco would just pull out a tub of cream cheese and some jalapenos for me to put on those $1.50 dogs.
I hope they're listening, and you all need to get your caulking gun full of cream cheese, and then
That part.
Eula's gonna pull up and order your hot dog.
You know, the one thing too that made me think of, Jane, before you wrap, is that the one thing that is from Seattle that I do think is amazing, that is the Cinnabon. I don't know if you guys know, but Cinnabon
Is that from Seattle?
It's from the SeaTac Mall.
Oh, that makes
It was
sense.
first created up here.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. And that is something I can get behind. Like, if we're going to talk about the person who wrote in, Natasha, I understand that you're like, well, what is Seattle? I don't like the Seattle dog. And you're looking for something delicious. Get a Cinnabon. Cinnabons are bomb every day of the week.
Oh,
You got to
man.
go to a mall to get one, but delicioso.
I feel like whenever I'm at a Cinnabon is when I am at rock bottom at some airport. Like it's never going well for me if I'm at the airport
Things aren't this
Cinnabon.
bad.
Like,
I will give myself this treat.
wait, don't Cinnabons have cream cheese icing though, or is it just regular icing?
That part. Let's go with that.
It
I don't
feels
know.
like there's still a cream cheese tie-in here, but maybe some further investigation is necessary since we've uncovered the Seattle dog part of the cream cheese lore, but I feel like there's still more to explore. But thank you, Natasha, for your question. If we have more for you, we'll definitely let you know. Listeners, if there's something that you've always wondered about our city, please send us your question and let us find out for you. You can send an email to seattle@citycast.fm. You can also text us or leave us a voicemail on our Seattle Dog hotline at 206-880-3931. That's all for today here at CityCast Seattle. I'm your host, Jane Sihu. Eula, thank you so much for joining us today.
It was a pleasure.
And Lex, thanks for being here.
Yeah, always fun.
If you're enjoying the podcast, be sure to follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen so you never miss an episode. Even better, leave us a review. You can get more local news and events delivered right to your inbox by subscribing to our newsletter. Just go to seattle.citycast.fm. Until next time, see ya, Seattle.